We're on the record in CR 2018-530, State of Arkansas versus Monica Ann Denwalt. You're Monica Denwalt?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Denwalt, how old are you?
27.
How much education and schooling do you have?
GED.
You under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication, or substance?
No, sir.
You're here before the court on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class D felony, carries possible punishment of up to 6 years in the Department of Corrections, as well as a fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Have you had full and complete opportunity to discuss this charge and its consequence with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You know and understand you don't have to plead guilty to this charge, but have a right to go to jury trial and require the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, if you do plead guilty pursuant to negotiations and receive the recommended sentence, you've waived and given up any right you'd have to go to jury trial and waived and given up any right to appeal to your sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Knowing all that, Ms. Denwalt, how do you plead to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class D felony?
Guilty.
Do you plead guilty to that charge because you did possess some sort of device, or contraption, or product utilized in ingesting drugs into the body?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone threatened you, intimidated you, coerced you, done anything for you, to you, to get you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And are you fully and completely satisfied with the service, advice, counsel, and negotiation of your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Court finds your plea is voluntary. There's a factual basis for it and will be received. The negotiated recommendation in this case is that, well, this is actually 2 counts. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're pleading guilty to 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. You understand that the recommendation is that you would be placed on a 6-year suspended imposition of sentence on each of these charges.
Yes, sir.
You would pay court costs of $200, a fine of $2,000, mandatory DNA of $250, booking and administrative fee of $20, public defender fee of $125, public defender user fee of $75, and drug crime assessment fee of $125. Those sums will be paid at $100 a month beginning 60 days after your release from incarceration. And how much longer are you going to be in jail?
I should get released today.
What?
Released today.
Today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I wondered why it said after. So actually you're going to be paying $60, 60 days from today. You'll make your first $100 payment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that the recommendation you expected to be made in connection with your case?
Yes, sir.
You know and understand that if you're placed on suspended imposition of sentence, you're subject to being picked up and revoked in the event you fail to comply in any way with any of the terms and conditions of suspended imposition of sentence.
Yes, sir.
You know that you can't hang out with felons, you can't use drugs, you can't commit other offenses. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you have to make your payments on your fines, costs, and fees, because those are also conditions that would result in revocation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything further, counsel, before sentence is pronounced?
No, Your Honor. This is consistent with what Ms. Denwalt and I have spoken about prior to today.
All right. Ms. Denwalt, the court places you on 2 concurrent suspended imposition of sentence for a period of 6 years, subject to strict compliance with terms and conditions. You'll pay the monetary sums the court went over with you earlier at $100 a month beginning 60 days from today. You have anything else keeping you in jail?
No, sir.
This will free you to be processed out. You'll need to meet with the probation officer Well, it's not gonna be, is it a probation?
She will meet with probation, that is correct, Your Honor. So
But it's an SIS case.
we treat that, Your Honor, she's being sentenced to 6 years Department of Correction. That time is suspended, so she would meet with probation, that
Okay,
situation.
good
Your Honor.
enough.
If you'd let her do that before she leaves, please, Your
Yes, please do that before you go back, okay?
Thank you.
All right, that's the judgment and order of the court. We're on live at the jail. Robert Penny.
Your Honor, my name's Sam Pasting. I'm one of the public defenders here, and I represent Mr. Penny. If you would have him to reappear next week in front of Judge Webb.
Okay, same time. What's that date?
January 24th.
All right, Mr. Penny, we're going to have you reappear before Judge Webb on the 24th. Your counsel has requested that, so you'll be brought back to appear either there or here before Judge Webb.
Yes.
You want him to appear live before Judge Webb?
I do, Judge, and we can always change that within the week, but I think we have a few pretrial issues to discuss, and I'd rather him be in front of Judge Webb.
You hearing what your lawyer's saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll have you back next week. Take care.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Peter Tubbs. Morning, Mr. Tubbs.
Good morning.
Let's see, Mr. Tubbs, you initially charged with hot check violation and you failed to appear in court. Has counsel been assigned to him, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, Your Honor, I represent Mr. Tubbs, or the public
All right,
defender's
what
office.
action to be taken today?
Your Honor, there is no action to be taken today. I will tell Mr. Tubbs that I'll get over and see him, and I will, in all likelihood, bring an offer from the state in an attempt to resolve this. And if we can, then I'm not asking that he be put on the docket for next Thursday at this point, Your Honor, but I'll tell Mr. Tubbs that that may happen. But as of today, I cannot tell him that. So no
Okay,
action
Mr.
today.
Tubbs, you hear counsel?
Yes, I did.
All right, he's going to be discussing the matter further with the prosecutor, going to come to you likely with some sort of negotiated offer, and then y'all can work it out to the point that maybe handle it next week and maybe not, okay?
Okay.
All right. You may
Yeah.
stand back. Thank you.
Is there any bond or?
Has there been a bond set?
Your Honor, there was a bond set, and then I believe the state moved to revoke that when he failed to appear.
We revoked his bond. You know, we had to go obtain him and bring him back, and so
Okay.
that's why there's no
The
bond.
failure to appear pretty much did away with your bond, sir.
All right.
At
Can
this
one
point in
get that?
time, you are correct in making a request. The bond does need to be set on your failure to appear. State have a recommendation.
You know, the concern for the state in this matter has been the fact that we had to go get him and bring him back from, I believe, Michigan. I may be wrong.
What was the cost of that?
I need to find from the bondsman. The bondsman had to retrieve him.
Bondsman did?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. And so we don't have great faith that Mr. Tubb would reappear, but the state would agree to a $10,000 cash bond, and he would be required to wear an ankle monitor.
Your Honor, a $10,000 cash
What
bond.
are we talking about in checks here?
I don't think we're talking about that amount.
The amount of money was not that much, Your Honor. It's just my concern that he will not reappear before this court is what our concern is.
Your Honor, I had every intention of appearing on the last time that I was on the docket. I did attempt to appear. I had been having some health issues, and my doctor said that I couldn't drive for more than an hour at a time. I tried to get down here. I could not. I was in contact with counsel. I was in contact with the bondsman. I was asking to be put back on the docket after that failure to appear so that I could come down and resolve this. What I would like to do is to get back out on that $5,000 bond, be allowed to return home, return to work, so I can finish gathering the money to pay these checks off and resolve the matter. I did, my failure to appear was not an intention not to be here. I was not able to find work in this area. There were problems as far as the business with having enough income to support myself and my family and take care of my obligations to the court. And we returned to Wisconsin. I found work in 48 hours. I've been on unpaid leave on that since October 5th. And I'm now, my health is now again where I can return to work and get that done. So I'm requesting that the $5,000 bond be reinstated and that I be allowed to post.
Mr. Cooper, what about his statements to the effect that he kept the Public Defender's Office informed as to his whereabouts and his requests?
Your Honor, there were a number of calls that Mr. Tubbs did make to our office, a number of calls that I personally spoke with him while he was either in Wisconsin or Michigan. Your Honor, I would also point out to the court, this is not obviously a violent offense. And I would ask at a very minimum that the court set a professional surety bond to give him a chance to get out. A cash bond is really no bond at all for this gentleman.
Your Honor, the state has no objection to being set as a surety bond. We would like an ankle monitor, because again, this gentleman had to be retrieved out of state, not just across the state line. We had to go to Wisconsin. And it's just a concern of the state. And Your Honor, I don't want to talk about all the facts of the case. There were other things Mr. Tubbs was doing while he was here that concerns the state about his ability to be truthful with everyone, Your Honor.
Remains at this point in time hot check charges of not much money.
Your Honor, it's about $6,000 is what we're looking at.
Well, that's pretty good money.
Your Honor, I've been in custody in this matter since December 13th. And yes, I was returned from Wisconsin, but I had every intention of appearing here in Mountain Home had I been able to be placed back on the docket. I want to take care of this. I understand my obligations. And in Wisconsin, I am in fact monitored. If the court can set a date, reinstitute the $5,000 bond and date firm, I will be here.
Why are you monitored in Wisconsin?
Because I have a criminal history, very old, but state law requires that I be on passive monitor.
All right. The court is going to, since you had the failure to appear, plus the original charge, the court's going to set a surety bond of $7,500 with the requirement that you have an ankle monitor at all times now, between now and your next court appearance, wherever you may be. And what's his next appearance date?
Your Honor, it had been set for next week. If he is able to bond out, I really don't see any reason that he would need to appear next week unless...
I have no objection, Polly. If we want to give him a coordinator to appear in the first part of March, that's fine with us. If it's okay with you, Polly.
What date in March, Ms. Member?
Since he has an ankle monitor.
March 7th?
March 7th? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll reappear here on March 7th.
Okay, so it's $7,500 bond and the monitor in Wisconsin.
Ankle bracelet, yes.
And that's sufficient in Wisconsin?
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Etheridge and clarified that the monitor that he was wearing previously, when he gets back to Wisconsin, he'll get back on that monitor, but I believe that satisfies the state.
As long
As long as you're monitored, that's fine.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Kevin Gertz.
Gertz. King, Gertz. Come on, Gertz. Yeah, come on.
Morning, Mr. Gertz.
Morning, sir.
Mr. Gertz, you're before the court on a matter of failure to appear on an underlying charge of forgery. Has counsel been appointed, Mr. Cooper?
No, Your Honor, he is not applied.
Do you have any funds for which to hire an attorney, Mr. Gertz?
I do wish to hire an attorney, yes, sir.
You do wish to hire one?
Yes, sir.
And you have money to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I've been in here. I was really hoping I could get a bond to get out so I could start taking care of some of this.
When was his failure to appear date? How long have you been in jail?
7 days now.
What court date did you miss?
It was a court date back in November.
November 1st, Your Honor.
November 1st?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was the reason you missed your court date?
I had printed off, I had a paper printed off saying that my court date was on the 2nd, and whenever I showed up there on the 2nd, they told me that my court date was the day before and that they didn't have court the day that I showed up there, so it was just a misunderstanding. But I had it rescheduled for the 28th of this month.
You had it rescheduled for the 28th of this month?
Yes, sir.
You have documents to that effect?
Yes, on the online account. On the online account thing, I got an email to my email saying that my court date had been rescheduled to the 28th.
You know, that was part of the initial scheduling order that would have had him appear on the 28th. That's what he's looking at. That's what Judge Webb would have set for him as a scheduling order, so that's when that date shows up.
Okay.
But he did not appear on the 1st.
That didn't mean your appearance was excused. It just meant that that would be your appearance. This would be addressed if it hadn't been otherwise resolved.
Yes, sir.
What?
January 28th was his trial.
That was your trial date. That's your trial date. Still is.
Yes, sir.
What was your bond?
Initially $2,500, Your Honor.
All right. Any previous FTAs on him?
No, Your Honor.
Prior felony history?
He does not have a criminal history, Your Honor.
All right. You're going to hire your own lawyer. You better be quick about it. Bond's going to be set at $5,000, cash or surety. What'll his next court date be? I want to give you, I want a date for him to report with a lawyer.
If his trial date's the 28th, then he needs to report on the 24th.
24th?
Thursday, yes.
All right, you're going to need to report with an attorney on the 24th.
Okay, sounds good, sir.
And we'll do he'll have a written order to this effect.
Yes, sir.
All right, and your bond is $5,000 cash or surety.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Gertz. Michael Curtis.
My name is Michael Curtis. Can I speak in my own defense?
Yes. Do you not have an attorney?
I will be my own attorney. I'm a U.S. Justice and a judge, executioner, and an internal affairs police officer. I do not have a computer at my house or internet or television or any electronics. I did not write any threatening emails. I have one cell phone. My email address is kingmtcurtis@gmail.com. The email you have to Benny Magnus is not from me. The IP address will not show my address. It was trumped up and faked. I am not guilty, Your Honor. The protection order against my daughter, I want that dropped. Against my wife, who's still married to me. Amy Curtis is still my wife. She was divorced from me, but I am a king from the UK, England, Ireland, and Italy, and you can't divorce a king. She's still my wife. I was just about to give my daughter her inheritance from the UK when this John Montgomery took her away with the Protection Act because I'm a stockbroker dealer, and he said that's illegal. He's also said that I'm a priest out of the Mormon Church and Catholic Church, ordained, and he said that's illegal. He also said that I'm a U.S. Justice. He didn't believe it. He didn't look it up. I'm not guilty. Can I get a ride back home and be found not guilty? My apartment was paid for, and it's still there. I lost my cat of 4 years. It's my dead wife's cat. God bless you, sir.
All right. And he was charged with terroristic threatening.
He was, Your Honor.
Has the bond been set?
It has, Your Honor. It's set at $50,000, Your Honor.
And I want to counter charges against whoever wrote that email and have them arrested with a felony warrant, and I want them picked up, sir.
All right. You do not want a lawyer.
I'm a U.S. Justice, Supreme Court out of Washington, D.C. I'm also an F period, A period, K period, E period, U.S. Justice. Your Honor,
I understand that, but even a Supreme Court justice is entitled to a lawyer, and if he can't afford one will be appointed for him.
This is my third court date, sir. They keep bumping it forward. Your Honor, I am also Illuminati, which is an international judge. I will appeal to that for review over all three cases and whoever wrote that fake email. I am not guilty.
Was that the subject of the threatening? Was an email?
Email
and other correspondence, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me, sir? Please see that I did not write that email. It did not come from my house or my email. I have no electronics or computer at my house. I have no access to computers. I'm also undercover with Social Security, but investigating the medical system in Arkansas, fraudulent medical, and I was investigating that. I also
hear you.
Other stuff. I would like to get back to the job that I have, which is an undercover U.S. Justice, sir. Please release me and let me go home, sir. I'm turning you over to Illuminati, international judges, over the judges of the United States of America, because you are unable to hear me, because I said I was not guilty. You know I did not write that email. I've known Benny Magnus since 1994. My wife, Amy, was his employer. I mean, he was employed. She was an employee.
I hear you, and I'm noting your plea is not guilty.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor, sir.
But just because you say it, I don't have to believe it.
Okay, well, unless you can look up the credentials, which no one seems to, this is recorded on your register and goes out to all courthouses in the United States.
Exactly.
And it's filed in all courthouses.
Exactly.
Gavel.
What steps need to be taken in this case, Mr. Prosecutor?
You know, one of the issues, him not having counsel, makes it a little more difficult for us, of course. But we just need to get him on a scheduling order and move this case forward, which I'm sure Ms. Weinberg will make that happen.
I'm pressing charges against the law enforcement of Arkansas with the Illuminati judges and the U.S. Justice. I've already let them know before you arrested me because we knew what you were doing. You were under surveillance the entire time since 1994 and the murder and all the stuff that you bringing over the kiddie porn ring, the sex ring and the murder ring from David Crow, European ring to Arkansas to kill our children with school bus massacres. All right, this is the end of it. We will appeal to the U.S. Justice Department. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Free.
Is there any need for another appearance?
Your Honor, he's reset for, he's on a scheduled order for April 18th, and he can come back on the 18th.
For trial?
Make me homeless, sir. I will get back on my feet. God bless America. Let's go. You are fired, sir.
What?
Trial is set for July 15th.
All right. Court date remains the same. April is at 18th.
18th, Your Honor.
He's making a request for trial, and he is a jail case. I want the state to be aware of that.
Yes, sir.
He's not agreeing to any kind of continuance.
There's a bond